guys, welcome to Woken Pretty. It's Meera
Hey.
and Min, and hope you had a really great Thanksgiving weekend, guys, from the US. And for everybody else, hope your weekend was lovely. It's a good
Yeah.
Monday for me because I have a good Am I the A-hole story.
Oh, here
Yeah,
goes.
yep. It's not that old, guys. It's only from a couple weeks ago, but I think you're gonna like it, Min, because it's about splitting the bill.
I feel like that's not happening. Tell me more, girl. Tell me more.
It's with friends, and so it's interesting.
Okay.
So, okay, am I the a-hole? Wealthy friend made me split the bill. Okay. So this is a 36-year-old chick, and she's friends with a guy. He's 48 years old. So I've been friends with a guy, we'll call him Rob, for years. He is very wealthy and successful, does very well for himself, no kids, never been married, etc. He's a serial dater, and his goal is to date the hottest girls that he can. Oh, God. You're 48, dude. He spends sometimes thousands on them every week in buying them gifts, dinners, and straight up giving them cash. It's his thing, and one of the ways he likes to is spend his money. Whatever floats his boat, his life, his money, I don't judge. And if he's happy,
Who's
then I'm
his
happy for
friend?
him.
Sorry.
Oh no, but she's a chick, and clearly there's no romantic interest in both on both sides, right? Because just a friend. However, recently he went through an awful breakup that sent him spiraling, and I was there every day and night to talk to him on the phone, offer him advice, read his sometimes over 100 messages a day, and otherwise console him. We're talking hours every day that I was spending on him, and it went on for weeks. Quite honestly, it was exhausting after a while, and there was definitely a lot of trauma dumping going on. I'm a single mom who works full time, and I don't always have a lot of free time or mental energy, but I did my best to support him. He recently invited me out to dinner, saying that he owes me for all the support I've given him. So we went out to a really nice restaurant and had a nice dinner until the end. The check arrived and he stated, "All right, we're splitting this thing." I was shocked as he wanted this dinner and he invited me. When I questioned him and also informed him that I had to pay $100+ to a babysitter to be able to go out with him, he insisted that he's not paying for me and that we are just friends. I'm able to support myself and my kids, obviously, but going out is a treat because of how costly everything gets. $100 is a lot for me. I sent him my half and left shortly after, somewhat upset, as I felt blindsided by this and also felt that he should have treated given the fact that he invited me, and also because he makes exponentially more than me and knows my struggle sometimes as a single mom. Am I the a hole for being upset with him? I would love some insight before I confront him. Wow.
Any edits before we move forward?
I don't know what TL/DR means, but wealthy friend made me pay half the expensive dinner bill, even though he invited me to dinner and he knows what a financial burden is for me to go out. Am I the asshole for being upset? Edit. Thank you all for the great replies. I appreciate all of the insight. Just wanted to clarify a few things. One, I have no romantic interest in this guy. Zero. I'm not jilted or upset, nor do I have some fantasy that he will be with me. It's just not like that with him. For the people saying that nobody owes me a dinner just because they make more money, you are absolutely right. However, if I had a friend or family member in a tight financial situation and I had the means to pay, I would feel horrible taking money from them. Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. One, I don't think she was looking for him to pay. I think he gave the impression that he was going to pay, especially since he was like, "Oh, let me take you out or let's go out to dinner because I've been putting all of this burden on you." It felt like he was trying to treat her. So I don't think she's the a-hole for believing that he should pay. It felt like he was treating her to a nice meal for being there for him over the last couple of weeks. So this feels, dude, what?
So people, the first couple comments is that he's a user because he knows about her limited resources on time. He knows her financial situation in terms of money. He asked her to go out and saying, "I owe you." If somebody said, "Meera, let's go out. I owe you. Let's go out to dinner," I would assume that they're paying. I wouldn't get upset if they made me pay. I would just be like, "Oh, okay, it's like that." But also, if I was struggling for money and had to pay a babysitter to do all this and all that stuff, clearly the lines of communications were not there. However, it's his fault. This is still your friend, and you, not saying because you're wealthy you should pay for her, but it's your friend and you've been using her to help you get over your breakup. What is she getting out of this relationship outside of her being there for him? That's the question I have for her. Obviously, I don't think she's in it for the money. Clearly, she's not that person.
She may not have, I'm sure she's getting some companionship and they're friends. So there's something, obviously, they're friends for a reason. She may not have brought it up. I don't, listen, I still think that if you invite somebody out to dinner.
This person's comment makes me laugh.
What's the comment?
He invited you and said he owed you for all the support you've given him. What exactly was he treating you with? Gracing you with his presence?
Kinda. I'm with her. That comment is golden. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
He is the a-hole. I would tell him that you're not feeling appreciated as a friend and you feel hurt by him saying he owed you and then not actually giving you anything. Then distance yourself from him. Wow. What a jerk. First of all, man, guys and girls are very different. I have a guy friend and he don't pay for all shit for any girlfriends, period. He does for me on occasion when I'm like, yo, no, you do it. Because I've paid for him sometimes and he's just that guy. But I also know guys don't think that way. He, in his mind, probably thinks he's not interested in her, so he doesn't pay for her because of how he pays for the girls that he is interested in. I'm wondering if they've been friends, have they never been out before? Like, she not know what he's like?
Yeah, my other question is, here's my thing with friendships when it comes down to stuff like that. It becomes a tit for tat situation. And that doesn't work. What
is she getting out of this relationship?
Honey, she's obviously getting something. You're friends for a reason. She may not
sometimes you're friends with people because you think sometimes you can be a good friend and not realize, we talk about this all the time, not realize that you're not getting anything back. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, is he there for you? Has he in any way at all? Do you know more about his problems than he knows about your problems? Or I don't know. I don't know. Oh, this person wrote, he did that to make it clear it wasn't a date, which I agree. And I think, like I said earlier, when it's someone that he's interested in, he pays for them.
Okay. Okay, listen, fair.
He's the worst kind of guy because he doesn't understand what friendship is.
A little bit.
He doesn't. So he did that to make it clear it wasn't a date. You are so low in his eyes. You're not even worthy of a meal. Never, ever answer his calls again. Exactly what I was going to say. Free stuff is only for those he wants to F. He sounds like a real creep. That's nice. I pretty much agree, unless he's romantically interested in. She also said only dating the hottest woman possible also give me the creep vibes. He views women as objects for his use. That's a good point. Oh, man, interesting. The energy I'm getting from this post is that I owe you was bait to get her dressed up. He wanted sex and dinner. She said no. He said, okay, I'm not paying. Then we're just friends. They are both users. And I want to say she's a-hole. I don't know about that. I don't think
that comment gives me the just because he paid for dinner, you need to sleep with him vibes.
Oh, yeah. I think that's exactly how I'm feeling about that comment too.
Yeah, I don't owe you anything just because you took me out to dinner. Sorry. Not okay with that comment.
The fact that he said, all right, we're splitting this thing also is weird because nobody ever says that unless they know there was an intention that they weren't good. Maybe this person is right and he thought maybe they were like, he was trying to vibe it out and see what was going on. And then they were just friends. And
the whole situation is just really icky to me, in my opinion. Like the whole, like just, I don't think she, again, though, I don't know, maybe there's other things, but I don't think in this context he invited her out, giving her the impression that he was treating her for all the nice things that she had done to help him get over his breakup. And now he's just being a jerk for not paying the bill. No, dude, sorry. It sounded like you were going to treat your friend and then you just left her high and dry.
Yep. And I think that she has a right to be upset. I don't think she's an a-hole, but I actually really think that she should distance herself. She really should just not be there for him. He'll get over it. He don't care. He clearly doesn't care. Okay, I have one more. This is very different.
Okay.
This is from a week ago. Am I the a-hole for asking my colleague to chill?
Oh.
It's so different. It's a work one. First time posting, please. Okay, I hate when people like, just post. So this is a 27-year-old. She's 30s, 27, around that age. My colleague has recently come back from maternity leave and has a role closely linked to mine. She called to ask for some help today and then started making suggestions which were not possible to do, like removing forms from the website altogether. Her volume kept going up as I tried to explain why her suggestions could not be implemented, as I tried to look for other solutions. After a point, she wouldn't listen to me, so I said very calmly, "Person, please chill. I'm also trying to look for solutions here." And she went ballistic on me, saying, "You can't talk to me like that. You're so unprofessional, and this discussion is over." And she cut the call on me as if I was her boyfriend or something. I'm in shock, but now wondering if I shouldn't have used the word chill. Am I the a-hole? Girl, no. She is hormoned up. She needs to apologize to
That was
you.
extremely unprofessional of her.
She was claiming she was unprofessional.
I wouldn't have used the words chill in general in a work
Doesn't
setting.
matter.
But hold on. But the colleague who like lost her crap, girl, you sound relax.
Her volume kept going up.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird ones today, girl. What's going on with you?
Here's what I would say with this. I would follow up with an email to her. I really would. And I would say, "Hey, person, sorry our call got cut off today. I really felt uncomfortable with our discussion because it seemed that I was trying to provide solutions for things that you found issues with, such as," and list a few of them out, and saying, "We're both trying to find a solution to this, but you raising your voice really made me uncomfortable. When I tried to mitigate the situation, you went off on me. And again, I feel really uncomfortable moving forward. Can we resolve this somehow?" Say that shit. You know why? You don't know if she's going to go to HR about you. At least you have an email on record, honey. That's what I would say. But yeah, ooh, I hate to say this. But she clearly has postpartum a little bit. She just had a baby. She had maternity leave. Like, it's stressful to have a baby.
I forget that you guys don't really have, what's the mat leave like down there? Is it done by
3
state?
months.
That's it?
Yeah. Sometimes 4, depending on what state you're in. Some companies give 6, I've heard. My company gave me 3 months, no pay. I had to do short-term disability. And a short-term disability.
Gosh.
Yeah. And there's people
They do not make it easy for mamas to have babies down there.
They don't. It's really difficult. If this is in the US, I don't know where it is. That's real. That's a real thing. You go back after 3 months and you travel into work, especially if you're in New York, you travel in, you put your baby in a daycare and you leave. It gets hard, or you have a nanny. But I really do think that it was rude behavior, but she's under a lot of stress. Okay. But it doesn't excuse that her voice is being raised and she wasn't getting her way. She's coming back. Send an email to cover yourself or go to HR. But I don't know. I would try to be a little bit more understanding.
Listen, she still was a little, yes, I agree with you. She was a little unprofessional. Wow, 3 months. Dang.
Maybe she took
I'm
the 4
shocked by
months.
this.
I took the 4 months. Yeah, but I was no pay. No pay.
I was going to say, though, 4 months.
Most companies pay. I have a friend, actually, and she is going on maternity in March, and she ended up getting laid off right before she has to go on maternity, of course. But they would pay the whole thing. She would get her full salary. And I was like, wow. And that should just be the standard, but whatever.
Not the standard up here.
But also she said chill. It's not like she used a profanity or anything. It's just
no, but she also should, like, come on, you and I both know that chill is not something that you should probably
sometimes when people are about to yell at you and stuff, you default into, if you said, "Can you calm down?" that also triggers people.
There's no nice way to ask somebody to relax.
No, you have to say, "Your voice is getting really loud and I'm really trying to work on a solution here." And she still would have gotten loud because it's still a trigger for people when you call them out. Like,
I don't think she was.
Yeah, I don't think she was an asshole either. But I do think that there needs to be an email follow-up, or she needs to go to her manager just to do that and CC her manager on that, because that is, for both sides, she should not have to take that abuse.
No.
Or the talking down to. That's all. The woman obviously can't emotionally regulate. It's tough. She's going through a lot, and other people have to, the fact that she went off when she was told to chill or calm down, Wonder what they were like before the toddler, before the infant.
Mm,
Hey, you never know. Maybe they were always like that.
it's true. True.
All right, I got one more. Are you ready for this one? No. All right, this could be a trigger for me, but we'll see. Am I the a-hole for interrupting my girlfriend? I didn't read it yet, but I'm going to say yes, because you shouldn't interrupt people. I have a huge issue with this at work all the time. I talk about it all the time. So anyway, without knowing the story, if you have to say, am I the a-hole for interrupting my, yes. Okay. Anyway, here's the story. So this is a 25-year-old male and his girlfriend's 22. Hi, my girlfriend and I have been together for 2.5 years. We've recently started a business venture together. Oh, wow. I don't know about that one. As we work towards outreach, I recognize that my girlfriend struggles with speaking eloquently. She consistently stutters and uses fillers in her sentences, such as literally, totally. She comes
Okay.
across unprofessional, almost like a teenager. I've tried to correct her to no avail. I've gotten to the point where if I catch her speaking with clients, I tend to just cut her off and speak over her. Oh, no. I don't mean to hurt her feelings or mansplain anything. I love her so much, but we need the money and the clientele. The business comes first and is the priority, and we agreed on it. She's obviously never done this before, but until she learns to speak more professionally, I feel like I need to take the reins on our pitches and meetings. Unfortunately, I just don't think her style of talking lends itself to professionalism. She picks up on how I've been interrupting her in these recent meetings, and it's caused major tension afterwards. I try my best to explain to her that no one really takes her seriously if she talks like that. I'm stuck at a crossroads, and I don't know if I'm in the wrong for thinking I should take the lead on things in this regard. Wow. That is triggering to me. What are your thoughts, Min?
Okay, one, I don't we aren't in those pitches, so I don't know, but if she does need coaching, maybe that's something you invest in for her. Two, I hate when a man interrupts a woman and I don't mean to mansplain. You clearly know you're doing it.
I'm just gonna say two things.
Okay.
You clearly admitted you're the asshole when you said I interrupt her, correct her. I would cringe. I've been in sales for 17, 18 years, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have led people, I have presented in front of 50 to 100 people. I've presented to 10 people. I've presented to 2 people, strangers, people who aren't strangers. Let me tell you something. The one thing you don't do, you clearly are not professional either because you're interrupting your partner. That is noticed by people who are listening to you. There is tension in the house. It makes people think twice if they're going to want to invest with you. That's number one. Number two, you will not have a working relationship if you do stuff like this thinking you're better. So what you clearly have zero experience in business. So I'm going to tell you something right now. What you should do is actually have a conversation with her and say, I feel like my strong suit is sales. What do you feel like your strong suit is? Maybe she could be more operational. Also, I have trained salespeople. That is just practice. It is literally practice. You can do role playing with her so she can feel more confident while saying things. You see how I'm talking? I didn't always talk like this, but I'm telling you, you can train a person where you can role play. And then the more that they say something, you can even have her memorize things to answer to. And then that will take over as time goes on and she's more comfortable. How dare you? How dare you? You are unprofessional, sir. I would cringe if I was in a meeting and I saw somebody constantly interrupting somebody trying to speak and I want to do business with them. Like it would make me feel a certain way. And also, I sometimes say things like totally, yeah, whatever. Businesses have become so much more casual now. I don't know what kind of business you're in, but maybe they don't need that person who's like the salesperson. Maybe her informal approach works best depending on the clientele. I have seen that happen too, where I totally take a chill pill based on the vibe that I'm getting and I pivot. That's called being a good salesperson. You know who you're talking to and you can figure out the clues right away. Yeah, I think it's as long as you get the point across. Chill out, bro. chill out.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit of an a-hole, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And also, you probably shouldn't have written this so that women could voice their opinions. Let the girl speak.
But he's in a relationship with her. What else does he correct her on? How is this going to translate into the relationship?
Good question.
Oh my God, this is a you problem. You have placed your anxiety onto her in the form of a judgment, and now you are acting it out. This is thus a-hole. Yep. The way you choose to address her concerns is inappropriate coming from someone who seems as concerned with propriety as you. Can't you see how ridiculous you're going to come across when you cut across someone you're teaming up with? Yeah, exactly what I said. Thank you, sir, ma'am, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
He's being very unprofessional. He's also 25. How you have zero experience, sir. Come on. You have to learn too. You're not the know-it-all. I said it.
I love it. I love that you said it.
If business comes first, you've obviously identified what you think is a weak spot as the owner, right? You're both owners. Coach the person, train the person.
Yes.
Or
maybe it's time to invest in getting her some training so that she can be a little more eloquent in those meetings. But you also said it too, like businesses aren't operating the same as they were 5 years ago, even 6 months ago. We're a lot more relaxed. So maybe they don't mind.
Or maybe you both get clients and you pitch them separately instead of doing it together. How about that? That will double your manpower. If she is very low percentage-wise bringing stuff in versus the amount of meetings that she has, clearly something's not working. Let her identify it. Let her figure it out. I'm just saying. There's so many things here. So yes, I told you the trigger for me. The interrupting, the salesing, that you're better than me. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're the a-hole.
Love it. Amazing.
So when he tried to correct her, was it a constructive conversation or was it, I'm correcting you because you're doing it wrong and I know better? There's a difference.
I'm going to say it wasn't totally constructive. Dang. Just the fact that it's just because he knows, like the whole post seems very superior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to mansplain.
But you are.
I interrupt her.
But you are. Another tactic as a sales professional, listen, this is coaching right here, guys. What does she feel comfortable speaking about? And what does she feel uncomfortable speaking about? When you're uncomfortable is when those, I guess it's alliterations. Is that the word? I don't know. Those ums and likes and weirdness comes in when you're uncomfortable about a topic. What does she feel comfortable talking about? Maybe she can own part of the conversation and you can own the other part. Like the intro and about the company and this and that. Maybe when you go into technical specifications about a product, maybe you do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you answer the question. There's different ways to tag team this that can be productive for both of you, but you are clearly not willing to figure it out and just tell her to get on board and figure it out. And then you interrupt her. It's not constructive. It's not going to help her. In fact, it's going to diminish her, make her feel a certain way, and your relationship will take a turn and your business will take a turn. Yeah. Also, if I was her, I'd be like, go handle it then. I'm still part owner of this business, so I'll reap the benefits. There's nothing wrong with her doing that because it's her right to do that.
Agreed.
And you could buy her out at some point when you make a lot of money. Good for you. Do you want to do all the work? Probably not. Anyways, I'd rather her use the filler words than him interrupt her, to be honest, if I was in a meeting.
I agree.
Cringe. Anyways.
I hope that the other people who are seeing this are not impressed.
If they're struggling for clients. I love how you think, this goes back to I told you yesterday, on Thursday, my husband thinking he's the wisest person in the US. This goes back to that where men, they just shoot their shot. They just like a lot of God. And I've always noticed this, and throughout my career, I've always said this to my sister. We're always coming back to each other being like, God, they just do their thing and they're not even qualified and they don't know half as much, but they just go for it. That is amazing that you have that capability.
There's a trend. There was a trend for a little while and it pops up every once in a while on my feed where it literally is like this girl and then other women showing their clips of like how they're conquering the world, of this girl being like, you know what you need? The confidence of a bald, mediocre looking white man.
Yeah. in his
The minute
40s.
you get that, yeah, because the minute you get that, and honestly, every time I think about something I can't do or something that I am just not as confident about doing, I think about how confident my ex-husband was, and then all of a sudden I can conquer the world.
No, exactly. My sister and I say it all the time. Yeah. I'm like, something like she used to work in a law firm. She owns her own company now, thankfully, but she didn't think she could own her own company. And she started working for this guy, and she realized that he had a law degree that he just got, but he had an MBA and he was a successful businessman. So he decided, I'm just gonna get a law degree and open up my own practice and just hire lawyers to handle it. But I don't need to know anything. I'll just bring clients in. So that's what he did. And she was like, it was ridiculous because he didn't know anything legal, didn't have any experience. And I was like, but he did it. And she goes, yeah, but, and I was like, no, there's no buts. He did it. What are you doing about your business? What are you doing about you? So eventually it gave her the confidence to start her own business because she got sick of, I guess his wife was really involved and it was like a weird thing. And she was like, I don't want to get involved in this. So she ended up leaving and starting her own practice, but she needed to get the confidence of a white man. She did. For all those guys that are looking at us on YouTube and listening to us, we thank you for your views. Thank you. If you disagree with this, if you've listened to this entire conversation and got to this point and disagree with what we're saying, write the comments. I want to know. And if you agree, if you can tell us how you learned that, let me know, because I'm raising a little boy and I want him to be humble, but I want him to be like that too, because that's the only way to be. We just as little girls weren't taught that. We just weren't.
No.
Yeah. Although my son yesterday, after I told him Daddy's the wisest man in the United States, and he looked at me, you know what he said, man? Me too, mommy.
Oh,
and I said, aw. And then he said, and you. And I said, thank you.
Oh.
So at least, but he looked at me very honestly and looked like in my eyes and said, me too. And I was like, damn, is this already starting?
Yeah, girl.
For those guys
Mr. Honey Badger knows. Okay. That's his new name on this podcast. Mr. Honey Badger knows.
Him and the Honey Badger. Oh God. There's nothing, if you're a parent, there's nothing like being schooled by your children about facts, like actual facts that you don't know and they do.
Oh, you know what, Meera? We're going to need an update about how the elf is going at some point.
I'm not bringing that elf out until after Thanksgiving. Oh, wait, I did.
I'll cut it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the elf situation.
First, wait, did you go down the rabbit hole that I told you to do for 20 minutes?
No.
Because you're scared?
I'm going to introduce the elf this week.
Okay.
Yeah. This week.
Okay,
I wanted to wait till December and have it be from December 1st onwards, but
you should, because then it's only 24 days. It's much easier.
Yeah. And after the decorations are up and stuff, all of a sudden the elf came. Maybe the elf was going to come. We didn't put up decorations yet. So yeah, it's going to happen. It's not going to be for like months. Elf on the shelf. Okay. It's going to happen. I'm not going down the rabbit hole. People are crazy and I don't need to see other people's crazy to give me that guilt or whatnot. That's all. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to Am I the A-Hole on today. This is a great way to start off our week. So we'll catch you tomorrow. Oh, please follow us on social media. Woke Pretty Podcast. We like you on TikTok. We love seeing you on YouTube because y'all are real rowdy up in there. And of course, share the podcast with someone, please. We would love for you to get us some followers and give us your ratings and reviews because we really enjoy doing this and we need your support. So that's it from Meera and Min. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Remember, you're the heartbeat of our podcast. Your support, your comments, and your enthusiasm keeps us fired up and ready to bring you more pop culture goodness each week. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of action. We'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, and even your own pop culture discoveries.
Connect with us on social media at Woken Pretty Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.